Drew's first words.
All right.
Collins bald.
Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thick and Thin Sports Cast with your hosts, Nate Hanks and Travis Watson. We're here to talk all things sports and just have a good time. Listener beware, there may be some adult language. Now, let's get to the show!
How's it going, Nate?
Hey, Travis. How are you?
Oh, I forgot to hit record on everything.
Oh,
There we go.
You suck at
hi, Travis.
How's it going, Nate?
I'm good.
We're the
How
only
are you?
viewer here anyway, so that's okay.
Where's your ugly sweater?
I don't have one.
Walmart.
Why aren't you in the Christmas spirit?
I am in the Christmas spirit. I'm Scrooge.
You suck.
He's the Grinch.
I'm good. How are you? I am disappointed. This was supposed to be our Christmas show, and you were supposed to wear like a hat or something, and you didn't show up for it.
Well, I didn't realize. The hat's upstairs.
Gail totally just called you out. She offered to pick you up one, and you
I
just
did.
Scrooge McDucked all over everything.
I can even prove it. I have the text messages.
Well, I wasn't gonna have her spend like $25 on a sweater I'm gonna wear once.
A year every year.
No,
I
I'm gonna wear it
spent
once.
I spent $40-something on this cardigan, and I've worn it for 3 consecutive years. 4
How
consecutive
am I
years.
not
But it's
surprised
also
you
your-
spent that
it's
much
also
money
Green
on that
Bay stuff.
sweatshirt?
Yeah,
Sweater.
sweater, and I also got
Cardigan.
the tie. Look, I'm like straight styling. Look at this.
I think you need to stand up so that way they can all see you. There you go.
Styling, profiling, Mac Daddy.
The big old Nate boy. And ladies, he's for sale.
And all this can be yours.
Oh, and somebody needs
Not
to go
really.
back upstairs, Gail.
We got a bogey in the room.
Yep.
There is no game.
Apparently, I'll be back.
All right.
Bye, Gail. So that was the intro. Oh.
So I wonder who's here. I wonder if we have our our tied for second place, along with our first place winners. I don't know if we have either one of them because one of them's birthday was today, so he wasn't here. Happy birthday, Jeremy! Congratulations. You're now old like the rest of us.
But still younger than all of us.
Yeah, I know. He's 33 today. Get you know.
Hey, he's only a few months younger than me then.
Yep.
'Cause I'll be 34 in 2 months.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed the cutoff date, so that's why he was in the grade below us.
Oh.
Well, grade below you.
Below me.
2 below me.
Fair enough.
All right, so you want to get into this crap?
All right. Well, let's talk about this week's show. This week we will be talking about the random sports update, Nate's random ass sport of the week, Gail's local news, news around the NFL, Patriots news, the NFL Week 15 recap, the NFL 16 power rankings, NFL playoff picture, the NFL Week 16 picks, and listener/viewer questions.
But I don't know if anybody's going to come on tonight.
I don't know. All
I
right.
have to text them and find out if they're going to come on.
I mean, well, this is where we also like maybe check email or whatever, but I
Yeah.
feel like nobody emails us, so.
No, nobody uses email nowadays.
But if somebody wanted to email, it's thickandthinsportscast@gmail.com.
Yes, it is.
We did have somebody slide into our DM, though.
Yes, we did. That's how we got her picks.
It is.
So, and she ended up doing very well, surprisingly enough, after you said she didn't know anything about football.
I didn't say that. I just said she didn't care about anything other than hockey.
No, nobody slid into our emails.
Okay.
We don't even have spam mail.
That's how the Talking Stuff podcast email is, too. I just get shit from Spreaker and SoundCloud and Spotify. Like, that's all I get. So, with the random sports update, the 2024 Olympics, the 2024 Olympic surfing venue will be held in Tahiti while the host city is in Paris. Organizers described as Tihupo as one of the cradles of surfing. The approval of the venue will set a new record for being the furthest distance between 2 Olympic events being held as part of the same games. which the record was previously held during the 1956 Summer Olympics, where the equestrian events were held in Stockholm and the host city was Melbourne, which was 9,692 miles apart. By being now, the distance will be 9,769.99 miles away.
Wow, that's just hop, skip, and a jump, right?
Yeah, no big deal. That's what, a 20-minute flight?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
So, Heisman winner. On Saturday, December 14th, LSU quarterback Joe Burrow was awarded the Covenant Heisman Award, beating out Oklahoma's QB Jalen Hurts, Ohio State's Justin Fields, and Ohio State's defensive end Chase Young. Wow, Ohio State had two different players. That's interesting. Usually it's only one per. You only see that on one per team if you're even lucky.
While I was looking up this Heisman stuff, I was looking about how O.J. Simpson has 2 Heismans.
Really?
Yeah, and how they've both been stolen, and it's funny. Anyway.
Well, he probably had to sell them off, but he forgot selling them off to pay off all the bills he had.
No, I don't. It was weird. Like the one from he didn't go to Cal State. He went to.
I don't know where he went at all.
He went to California, some school in California. USC.
USC.
That one got stolen right after the police chase, and the other one got stolen from his guado or whatever.
Well, Burrow managed to be selected with the largest margin of victory, a point difference of 1.846 from runner-up Jalen Hurts. Additionally, Burrow received a record 90.7% of all first-place votes available and was named on 95.5% of ballots, which was another record set.
Apparently, this guy is hot shit.
Yeah, so he'll probably be going number 1, I'm guessing, overall.
Does the number 1 pick need a quarterback?
Probably. That's going to be...
Well, you've prevented me so far from going through the number 1s and stuff, so... You're saying we got to wait.
We're going to hold off that. We're going to wait till either the week between the Super Bowl for who's going to have the picks. But guessing from what we have place-wise, I'm pretty sure that they will need a quarterback because that would be the Redskins. I think currently still hold.
They have a
first.
They have a first-round quarterback drafted.
They do.
Yep, the Giants. The Giants have a quarterback.
The Giants are now bottom. That I did not realize. The Giants are now in last place.
Where are the Bengals? The Bengals got to be in there somewhere.
The Bengals, number 1.
Yeah, the Bengals may or may not have a quarterback. I think they're starting Andy Dalton this week again.
Right, so I think they need a quarterback.
There's a chance he's moving on. They didn't like the guy that they had before.
Yeah, because he was losing just as much as Andy Dalton was before. Dalton came back, won 1 game, and that's been it.
Yeah, so it's looking like Cincinnati's going to be go ahead and have the first-round draft pick. But they could take a veteran quarterback because there's going to be some veterans out there like Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Chances are he'll be moving on.
Oh, we don't think he's going to come to New England?
Why?
Well, isn't Brady leaving according to everybody?
Eventually.
So.
If I could roll my eyes out loud.
He's going to be gone at some point.
Yeah, when he dies.
No.
He's going to die on the 50-yard line. They're just going to bury him there.
Which 50? He's going to die in Miami.
Probably.
Or hopefully, or it'll be in Buffalo and they just start throwing dildos out there. Dildos and Uggs.
Oh.
I mean, that would be entertaining.
Speaking of Buffalo, Friday, December 20th, the NCAA Football.
By George, that's tomorrow.
NCAA Football Bowls start up. We have Buffalo versus Charlotte.
Why do you see? It's just Buffalo and Charlotte.
Buffalo, Charlotte.
Because nobody's at anywhere that's at neutral
they're
fields.
All neutral fields. On
I feel
ESPN.
like you should practice this before we actually go on.
We've been down here for like a full 2 hours prior to the show.
Yeah, we had to eat though.
And
so
we went and got picked up pizza.
Yeah.
There was like a meat pie on bread.
It was very good.
It was bread.
It wasn't that great. Like it was
good.
It was way more than I could ever want.
Too much meat for you?
It was bad. Like
what would your boyfriend say?
Well, it would have been sausage, not bacon and whatever the fuck else we had on there.
Shaved steak.
That was shaved steak on
That was
that?
supposed to be shaved steak, yeah.
It tasted like hamburger.
It was aggressive.
It was bad. Like it was like I was eating an Italian guy's chest with just
Oh
like all
my
that
God.
hair.
Have you eaten a lot of Italian guys' chests before?
Only one, big boy.
Oh my God. So is that what you do when I'm not down here? You're over here licking each other's chests?
No, that's
No,
what we're
he
doing
is.
when we're working on the Mustang.
Oh, so it's out in the garage.
That's why it's taking so long.
That's why it's not fixed yet.
Yeah, that's exactly
I
why.
See. Gotcha.
Gives them excuses.
Gotcha.
That
Anyways.
Buffalo Charlotte at the Marcus Wanted
You
Bahamas
like movies
Bowl.
about gladiators?
That is going to be on ESPN at 2 o'clock Friday at the Thomas Robinson Stadium, Nassau. NP. Where the hell's NP?
No problem.
No problemo, man.
Let's just do it this way. So the Utah State and Kent State are playing in the Tropical Smoothie Bowl Cafe Frisco Bowl, and that's at 7:30 on ESPN2.
Yep.
Saturday, December 21st, we got the Central Michigan and San Diego State playing in the New Mexico Bowl at 2 p.m. on ESPN. Playing in the FBC Mortgage Cure Bowl, you got the LU Liberty versus Georgia Southern. That's at 2:30 at CBSSN. The SMU Colts, Stags, Horses, Ponies.
Horse thingies.
They're playing Florida Atlantic at 3:30 on ABC, and that is the Chiribundi Boca Raton Bowl at 5:30 p.m. on ESPN. You have Florida International versus Arkansas State in the Camilla Bowl, and then at 7:30 you have number 19 Boise State playing against Washington in the Mitsubishi Motor Las Vegas Bowl on ABC. And then number 20, Appalachian State playing UAB at 9 p.m. on ESPN in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
See, I thought this weekend was the reason why I had Saturday games was because there was no college football.
No, we should have a bowl. Like the Thick and Thin Sportscast Bowl, and it's like
Apparently.
UMass Lowell versus UMass Amherst. Like it's ridiculous. On
That's what that bowl would be, because those are not good at all teams.
I mean, I like UMass Amherst.
Get out of this slimy mud hole.
Mud hole? Slimy? My home this is.
On Monday, December 23rd, you have the UCF versus Marshall in the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl at 2:30 on ESPN. Tuesday, December 24th, you have the Sophie Hawaii Bowl, which would be Hawaii and BYU at 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Ah, so they're playing home.
Yep. Thursday, December 26th, you have Louisiana Tech versus Miami in the Walk-Ons Independence Bowl, 4 p.m. on ESPN. And then the Pittsburgh versus Eastern Michigan Quick Lane Bowl, 8 p.m. on ESPN. Friday, December 27th, North Carolina versus Temple, which is the Military Bowl presented by Northrop Grumman at 12 p.m. on ESPN. And at 3:20 p.m. on ESPN, you have Michigan State versus Wake Forest in the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Number 25, Oklahoma State is playing Texas A&M at 6:45 p.m. on ESPN, and this is the Academy Sports Plus Outdoor Texas Bowl. And then 8 p.m. on FS1, you have number 22 USC versus number 16 Iowa in the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. Air Force is playing Washington State at 10:15 p.m. on ESPN in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Cheez-It Bowl.
Cheez-It Bowl. Everybody's get a bowl.
This is bad.
It's Oprah over here. You get a bowl. You get a bowl. Saturday, December 28th, you have number 17 Memphis versus number 10 Penn State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at 12 p.m. on ESPN. And then on ABC, you have number 15 Notre Dame versus Iowa State in the Camping World Bowl. At 4 p.m. ESPN, you have number 4 Oklahoma versus number 1 LSU in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, which is a college football playoff semifinal. Number 3 Clemson versus number 2 Ohio State playing in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl at 8 p.m. on ESPN, and this is also a CFP semifinal. And Monday, December 30th, you have Western Kentucky playing Western Michigan at the 12:30 p.m. Yes, the 12:30 p.m. on ESPN. And that is the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there's still more.
Oh my god.
Mississippi State is playing Louisville at 4 p.m. on ESPN in the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. 4 p.m. on Fox, you have California versus Illinois in the Red Box Bowl. 8 p.m. on ESPN, you have number 9 Florida versus number 24 Virginia in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Tuesday, December 31st, you have Virginia Tech versus Kentucky at 12 p.m. on ESPN in the Belk Bowl. Florida State is playing Arizona State at 2 p.m. on CBS, and they are playing in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Oh, Jesus.
Number 23 Navy is playing Kansas State in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, which will be at 3:45 on ESPN. And Wyoming is playing Georgia State at 4:30 p.m. on CBSSN in the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. Number 11 Utah is playing Texas at 7:30 ESPN, and they are in the Valero Alamo Bowl.
Holy crap, there's more. How many pages are there?
A lot.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Wednesday, January 1st, you have number 18 Minnesota playing number 12 Auburn in the Outback Bowl, which was at 1 p.m. on ESPN.
We should have saved some of these for next week.
I almost did. I just went for it. Number 14 Michigan is playing number 13 Alabama at 1 p.m. on ABC, and they are playing the VRBO Citrus Bowl. Number 6 Oregon is playing number 8 Wisconsin.
Finally, a real bowl game that we all know.
It is playing at 5 p.m. on ESPN, and it is the Rose Bowl.
I was going to say, is that the Rose Bowl?
Rose Bowl game presented by Northwestern Mutual.
It's the only one I know.
And lastly, number 5 Georgia is playing number 7 Baylor at 8:45 on ESPN, and this is the All-State Sugar Bowl. Oh.
The All-State Diabetes Bowl.
My name is Wilford Brimley. I realized I had diabetes.
I have the diabetes. And that's the end of the show. We've been here for 4 hours.
And we finally just made it through all the bowl games. Holy crap.
Thank you all for joining us. It's been so great.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. It's been so fun.
I hate you.
I love you.
Oh, wrong keyboard.
Go die in a hole.
No. All right, we ready to talk about some basketball?
Yes,
All
let's
right.
talk about the basketball.
You can talk about the basketball because I've parched.
Potched.
As
You guys
of-
need to talk about the beer you're drinking.
Oh, yes, we forgot to.
Well, they haven't sponsored us yet, so should we talk about them?
Sure, why not?
We are drinking Wachusett again,
Yeah.
and this is Bono's.
Bonos.
It's
Speaking of football,
I still don't know how I feel about it.
it's
It's got
crispity.
huh?
It's crispity.
Crispity. I don't know. It tastes like a.
It's like Bud Light and an ale mixed together.
It tastes like a lager and an IPA made a baby.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
It sounds like Jasmine wants to talk to now.
yeah. How have
She's
you
having-
derailed this? You're supposed to be talking about basketball.
Anyhow, so basketball as of 8:45 this morning, because you started talking to me. That's the problem.
Gail mentioned what drink we're drinking, and then you started tangenting off, and then I started talking, and then
Nate,
And
are
the-
you medicated?
I'm very medicated.
Okay, good.
That's
Because I'm not.
That's how I finished my exam in like 20 minutes.
I am not, so.
Why? What
Good luck.
happened? So in the in the Eastern Conference, in first place we have the Milwaukee Bucks with a 24-4 record. Then we have the Philadelphia 76ers in second with a 20-9. The Miami Heat coming up third with 20-8. In fourth place, we have the Indiana Pacers with a 19-9, and in fifth, the Toronto Raptors with 19-8. Looks like the Celtics have dropped off this list, unfortunately.
They did.
Wonder what happened over there.
They got totally thorough, and they just fell off.
They came out big and hard. Now that they've just decided to take a nap or something over there.
Yeah, they just said, you know what? Whatever, guy. And then they decided to bounce the ball. And they couldn't throw the ball in the hole. And
Over in the Western Conference,
it was a tragedy.
the
You're
Los
a
An-
tragedy.
the LA Lakers are 24-1 in first place. They seem to be sitting there. I don't
You
think
helped
they're
me
going to go
realize I
anywhere.
have another voice that I didn't know I had.
In second place, we got the LA Clippers with a 21-8. Then we have the Dallas Mavericks at 18-8 in third. The Houston Rockets at 18-9 are coming up fourth, and the Denver Nuggets at 18-8 are coming up fifth. Yep. Hockey, as of this morning,
Oh, the Bruins are currently playing the New York Islanders, so that will adjust
it
two
might-
teams. Because, number 2 and number 3 are currently playing right now.
Yes.
So this will actually, if the Islanders win, they'll bump the Bruins out of number 2 in the Eastern
What are they going to
Conference.
do, the Bruins?
They're going to bump them.
Bump 'em.
They're going to bump them.
They're going to bump them.
They're going to bump them hard. So hard.
In the Eastern Conference and also first in the Metropolitan Conference, we got the Washington Capitals. They played 35 games. They have 24 wins, 6 losses, and 5 overtime losses. Before the game tonight, the Boston Bruins are in second place with 35 games. They have 21 wins, 7 losses, and 7 overtime losses. Bad couple of losses the past couple of nights. In third before tonight's game is second in the Metropolitan Conference. We have the New York Islanders at 32 games, 22 wins, 8 losses, and 2 overtime losses. And fourth, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, which are also third in the Metropolitan. They've played 34 games. They have 21 wins, 11 losses, and 2 overtime losses. And rounding out the top 5, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, which are fourth in the Metropolitan. They've played 34 games. They have 20 wins, 10 losses, and 4 overtime losses. Over in the Western Conference, first in the Central Conference, the St. Louis Blues have played 36 games. They have 22 wins, 8 losses, and 6 overtime losses. Second, we have in both the Western and the Central Conference, the Colorado Avalanche have played 34 games.
The Ravel Ranch.
The Ravel Ranch.
Rabble.
They have 22 wins, 9 losses, and 3 overtime losses. Third in the Western, first in the Pacific, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals.
Why can't you say Pacific?
Pacific?
And I totally fucked up the next one.
Because you spell it wrong. The Pacific Conference, the Arizona Coyotes have 36 games, have played 36 games. They have 20 wins, 12 losses, and 4 overtime losses. Then we have number 4, second in the Pacific Conference, the Vegas Golden Knights. They played 37 games. They have 19 wins, 13 losses, and 5
This is
overtime
totally
losses.
serial.
Not so much.
Well, the Vegas Knights, this is the first time they're in the top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't put that.
I didn't
Usually,
need to.
I usually add notes, but you didn't add notes.
Look. Can only do so much.
Well, the weeks that you haven't done, you've lost horribly, and last week you didn't do as much, and you lost horribly. And rounding up the top 5 and third in the Central Conference, we have the Winnipeg Jets with 34 games, 20 wins, 12 losses, and 2 overtime losses. And that is all that you wrote for that.
Mm-hmm.
Gail, do you want to get through your stuff so that way you can go take a nap?
Nap, isn't it bedtime?
A small coma.
Oh, you're gonna go like that.
I hate everything about you.
Why?
I have a head cold.
I love you.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Stop making fun of me.
I do it 'cause I love you.
Yeah. Suck an egg.
Mockery is a form of flattery.
Yeah, not
And
in
we
my
lost
world.
viewers.
Yeah, because you're a
our,
douche.
our only other viewer.
Because you're a douche.
Semantics.
I wonder if she went to sleep. I wonder if it was the person that.
Drop water. I fart in your general direction. You
I wonder where Jeremy and Mo are.
Oh, I think they're fucking.
Not likely.
Probably not.
Although it is his birthday.
I was going to
so
say, isn't it Jeremy's birthday?
it is.
It's all blowjobs.
All right. So
All right.
you want to do your news?
Yes. So tonight I am going to highlight a local team, or it's actually a local organization, Team NGE. So it's Next Generation Elite. It's a group founded by, I believe, Jim Bennett. It's now, they have on staff Bill Nash, Pauline Hennigan, and Zach Swale. In the last few weeks of the regular season of youth football, coaches Jim Bennett and Bill Nash went to many games all over the state to scout potential recruits, as well as asking for family and coaches to nominate athletes. At the end of the regular season, NGE held 3 tryouts and selected their 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all-star teams that would then travel to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio on December 6th through the 8th, and have the chance to play against the best all-star teams across the country. So the 6th grade team, on Friday, December 6th, they played Indiana. Unfortunately, they lost 25-6. The 7th, on Saturday, they played Maryland. They won 12-6. On the 8th, they played Oregon and lost 15-0. Their overall standings, they were 7th behind Kentucky, Indiana, Sports Farm, New Jersey, Oregon, Utah, and Connecticut. Their head coaches were Mark Hennigan and Joe McLaughlin. Standouts on the team were Talon King on defense from Boston, Javian Huertas from Marlboro. He was an offensive stud. Tatum Casella from Clinton played both sides of the ball. Tyler Blomquist from Oxford was an offensive lineman. Gio Doria from Manchester, New Hampshire
Manchester.
was quarterback, and Joe Morris from Gardner was on the defensive line.
Cool.
Our 7th grade team on Friday the 6th played Indiana. They lost 27-0. On the 7th, Saturday, played New England Excel, lost 18-0. But on Sunday, the 8th, played Connecticut and won 12-6. The overall standings, they were 7th behind Kentucky, Indiana Select, Utah, Oregon, Indiana, and New England Excel. Their head coach, Joe Lang, who is the head coach at Middlesex School in Concord. Their overall MVP would be Anthony, I am going to kill this last name, Digian Tommaso.
Digiamaso.
We were trying to figure it out. The defensive MVP would be Aramis Reyes, according to Zach Swale, who is NGE's administrative assistant. The 2 touchdowns scored all weekend for the 7th grade were by Anthony. Reese Laura played great, and Malik Anglin was good on the offensive line. For the 8th grade team, Friday the 6th, they played Sports Farm, New Jersey. NGE won 12-0. On the 7th, they played Indiana. NGE won 24-13. On the 8th, on Sunday, they played Maryland. Unfortunately, they lost 12-6. Their overall standing was 4th place behind Maryland, Utah, and Indiana. Their head coach was Sean Austin from Franklin. His son Jack was the quarterback and great all-around player. Also on the team were 5 incredible young men from Everett, all amazing athletes, straight-A students in the classroom, and the most respectful young men off the field, according to Pauline Hennigan. They traveled with their mentor, Victor Ruiz, who is also an assistant coach. Standouts on that team were quarterback Jack Austin from Foxborough, Tyler Cook on the an offensive lineman, defensive lineman from Auburn, Brian Joseph, also an offensive lineman, defensive lineman from Everett, Malachi Linton, a wide receiver from Chelmsford.
Are you sure it's not Malachi?
Shut up. Aiden Paradise, defense from Manchester, New Hampshire. Daniel Romulus, wide receiver from Everett. And Carl Taylor Jr. from Manchester, who ended up, unfortunately, with a dislocated shoulder during the third and last game on Sunday.
That hurts.
Yeah.
I thought popping it back in for one of my buddies I play football with was bad enough, but it hurts.
Yep. So that is what I have for their weekend out in Canton, Ohio.
Now I know you're just reporting like news or anything, but did this include like free access to like the NFL Hall of Fame?
They did get to go to the NFL Hall of Fame. I saw a ton of amazing pictures. There were a lot of different. They went to. I can't even think of the word. They had like meetings where they had all of the teams in, and they had people come in and talk to them.
Now
There was
is any of this on Facebook?
yes.
You should share it on our
I will.
Facebook page.
Let me jump on the Facebook right now because there's a picture of one of the coaches, Coach Nash, with a Hall of Famer that was there.
So I'm pulling up the page now.
I'm on
That's
it.
the videos of photos.
They got to meet Andre Tippett.
Oh, really? A local guy.
Coach Jim Bennett is
who's
with Bill
that?
Nash
Sorry, I don't know who that
and
is.
Joe Beauregard with Hall of Famer Andre Tippett.
Okay, I don't know who. Still, I don't know who that is.
A New England legend.
Yes, he played for the Pats way back in the day.
Boston Patriots or New England?
I think they were New England, but I want to say it was like 90,
Oh,
early 90s, if I remember correctly. Andre Tippett. Let me pull up his.
hey, there's a picture of Jeremy and Mo on the screen.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to cool him out of there. Andre Tippett. Andre. How do you spell Andre? There we go.
Live podcast for people.
Yep.
Andre
Gotta love
Tippett.
it.
Pro linebacker.
Yeah.
1982 New England Patriots for his entire pro career.
293. Yeah. So I was close. I had won tickets actually probably to his last season playing when I threw Toys R Us when Toys R Us was a thing.
Mm.
So, yeah. So that's cool that they got to meet a local basically legend who's made it to the Pro Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So I shared that picture on our page.
Awesome.
And I mean, there's a lot of other pictures from the games and from the Pro Football Hall of Fame when they were touring it. I can ask if I can share those pictures to our page as well.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Good reporting, Gail. I'm proud of you, Muppet.
Next week, I was also going to highlight Mass Elite, which is another all-star team that we have in the area.
Is that cheerleading?
No, it
No.
is another football team.
Okay.
It's another all-star football team we have in the area. They also had an all-star game that played the same time as NGE played. But I was going to do it last week, and I wasn't feeling well. Doing it this week kind of doesn't make any sense because as we speak right now, they are in Naples, Florida, having another all-star weekend.
Must be tough.
So
They're
It's-
enjoying the warm weather
It's
down
like
there.
9 degrees outside, and I'm cursing everything.
yes,
And they're in Florida.
exactly. A friend of mine, Bonnie, posted pictures of her son in a jacuzzi tub chilling out, and I'm not a fan. I'm super jealous and kind of cussing her out in my head. Love her kids.
Sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless,
Feeling that pretty hard right now. Could totally use a jacuzzi tub right now.
If you've been outside, you need a jacuzzi tub right now.
Golly, it's,
Even thinking about going outside, I need a jacuzzi tub right now.
it's miserable out there.
So I will do Mass Elite next week when I have the information for both sets of all-star games.
Perfect. I look forward to it, Muppet.
Sounds good.
And I just got permission because Pauline, who is the administrator for NGE, is actually watching us right now.
Oh, how's it going?
Hey there.
So I got permission to share any of the pictures that are on the NGE page.
We'll advertise for beer.
I did warn them that we were not a family-friendly show.
I mean, we're
I mean,
fairly
kid-friendly.
Yeah, like
We were not a child-friendly show.
no, you're
No.
gonna want like a teenager.
Like 16 and up, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Like a mature 14.
that's true. Because I definitely said it's so cold outside that it'll freeze the dick off a tick.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, are we ready?
Anyhow.
To move? Are we moving on?
I think we're moving on.
All right, Gail.
We're on.
We appreciate it. Good reporting. You going to bed? Or are you gonna hang out?
Why don't you go take a nap?
I think I'm gonna go take a small coma.
Good plan. Miss you already.
All right. Bye, Gail.
Goodbye.
See you later.
All right, I need you to go ahead and just click the
Peace
little-
out, yo.
the mutey mute on what you got going on there, homie.
Okay. What, you don't want your background music?
No. Because this is time for Nate's Random Ass Sports of the Week. This week, I bring you the gridiron impacting Man of Steel game that is for Thought the Week. This week, I bring you toe wrestling.
Toe wrestling? Are you kidding me?
Toe wrestling is another childhood game that has made its way to the big-time adult sporting world. The rules for toe wrestling are pretty simple. With your shoes off and your socks off, the competitors face each other toe-to-toe across the toadium, where they interlock their big toes and try to force the other one off the toadium.
Oh.
The World Toe Wrestling Championship is not a new competition, with its history going way back into 1976,
I can't believe this thing's been around that long.
when the World Toe Wrestling Competition started at a pub in Wetton, Derbyshire, UK.
Why am I not surprised to start over there?
The locals of ye old Royal Oak Inn thought it would be a great idea to hold a toe wrestling competition where the contestants lock their big toes together and attempt to force the opponent's foot to the ground. The championships are now being held at the Bentley Brook Inn near Ashbourne on the Staffordshire-Derbyshire border and is still going strong. The organizers have big intentions for the sport and applied in the 1997 for its inclusion in the Olympic Games. Unfortunately for the unusual sports fans, it was not accepted. So that, my friends, has been the mighty and the triumphant toe wrestling in Nate's random ass sport of the week.
Getting a kick out of you.
Still hot.
I want to know. I want to see pictures of this almost.
There are videos.
There
Like,
are videos.
This is a legit thing.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, that's while you do that, I'll go ahead and keep going.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I like this. I like the soundtrack here. So, around the league, which means that we're going to talk about some NFL stuff. Drew Brees, in Monday night's game between the Saints and Colts, Saints quarterback Drew Brees passed future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning in having the most career touchdown passes. Brees threw his 540th with a 5-yard pass to tight end Josh Hill in the beginning of the third quarter. He continued to add to his new record by recording a throwing touchdown, 541, to Taysom Hill in the fourth quarter. Brees was also able to add another notch into the history books by registering a 96.7 completion percentage in the 35. I got 35, but I think it was 34-7 win. With 2 weeks left into the regular season, it'll be very interesting to see how high Brees can make this record. So, with that in mind, my dear friend.
I got toe wrestling for you.
Those are some biggins.
Oh, what the hell just happened here? Oh, it's doing that stupid thing again.
All right. So,
Hold on.
you know we're live, right?
I know we're live. We're doing it live.
We are doing it live. I just want to try to keep the dumpster fire going.
So they lock toes, and they just try to push each other off the thing? That's what it's looking like. Oh, here we go. It's a better view.
Look at them man, them ladies got some man feet.
So yeah, like, that's definitely different.
I'm just glad I was able to hang you up on toe wrestling.
You were.
All right, so can we talk about Drew Brees?
We can.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like we should be talking about Drew Brees.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so we got 2 weeks left,
Yep.
and Drew Brees has 541. Where is your boy Tom Brady presently at in the quarterback thing here?
Oh, he's not far behind. I know that. Because he needed one more touchdown to break the record last week. So, but off the top of my head, I can't remember.
He is at 530. No, hang on. I'm looking it up.
I think he was at 540 last week by the end of the game, and he needed one more touchdown, if I remember correctly, to either tie it or break it. So he's either at 539, which would be why he didn't tie it last week. And so it'd be. But the funny part is they only count regular season. Postseason, he's well over 600. So
Okay, so Tom Brady is 538. Peyton Manning is at 539. Drew Brees is at 541. So, with that in mind,
a pretty good. He had a pretty good game this past Monday, so that would explain that.
right. So we have 2 weeks left.
Yep.
Who do you think is going to end this season with the record?
3 weeks. We had 3. Oh,
No.
3 weeks including. No, 2 weeks. Never mind.
Yeah, because we can't count playoffs.
Right. Because nobody. Playoffs don't matter when it
Well,
comes to records.
and that's the thing too is if you think about this record, right? It's an amazing accomplishment, but if you think about it, Tom Brady has just surpassed this 540 whatever record.
Right. Because if you include his playoffs, Brady is at 642 I think it is.
Yeah.
It's
But-
something ridiculous.
But I guess if you look at just the regular season, then this is
Yeah.
still a major milestone.
Right.
But Brady's down by 3.
Yeah. Do I think he's going to beat the record? Yeah.
Do you think they're going to tie at the end of the season?
I have a feeling because Breeze has a much better receiving core than the past
Well, let's
two.
face it, the Saints are a better team.
Right. They have a much better receiving core than the past
Let's
two.
face it, the Saints have a better team.
They have a better offense. I'll
The
give you
Saints
that.
have a better team.
I don't.
It's
say
not that hard to say. I will look. I'm a
They
diehard
lost
Packers
to the
fan.
49ers
Obviously,
who lost to
Look,
Arizona. So
I'm a diehard Packers fan,
yeah.
and I will say that the Saints are a better team than the Packers.
Well, yeah.
It's
that's a
not
given.
really that hard for you to say that the Saints are a better team than the Patriots.
It's a little hard.
I'm not talking about your cock. I'm talking about the Patriots and the Saints, and how the Saints are a better team than the Patriots.
No, if we were talking about that, I'd say it was a lot hard. I just think that Breeze is going to end up having this record for the regular season. Yes, I do believe that he will probably end up. It'll be a fight to the end, but Breeze has a much better receiving crew, has a much better offense. That he is more than likely to be the record holder for this. Whether he continue, there was rumors that he was going to retire after last year. Then there was rumors that he's going to retire after this year. So with Breeze, so who really knows who will end up having the record in the end? But
Well, this is interesting. So I decided to go ahead and holy shit. So
yeah,
Drew Brees is number 1.
yeah,
Peyton Manning's number 2. Tom Brady's 3. Brett Favre is 4.
yep.
Who used to be 1.
Way back in the day.
I mean, not that way back. Dan Marino is 5.
Yeah,
Phillip Rivers is 6.
really. But how many does Rivers have?
395.
So he's got a long way to go.
Yeah. Eli Manning is number 7 with 366. Ben Roethlisberger is 363. Aaron Rodgers is 362.
And what was the number 10?
Fran Tarkington with 342.
When the hell did he play?
A long ass time ago, 61 to 78.
Oh, wow.
Matt Ryan's 11. Elway's 12. Carson Palmer 13. Warren Moon 14. Johnny Unitas 15. Vinny Testaverde 16.
Old Testy.
Joe Montana is number 17. David Krieg is number 18. Matt
Yeah.
Stafford 19. Sonny Jurgensen is 20.
And a bunch more retired players.
Dan Fuchs is 21. Drew Bledsoe is 20. Tony Romo 23. Boomer Esiason 24. And
the
then,
Boomer?
John Haddle is number 25. I'm not going to go all the way down to the 26 and
Right.
all that, but
I figured we were going to stop after the top 10.
but I didn't think that like Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning would have
That
more than
many?
just that much more than Aaron Rodgers. That like surprised me.
That surprised you?
Yeah, and it's getting hot in here.
Well, that's
I
because
might be taking this cardigan off.
well, your ugly sweater is ugly, so.
It is fucking great. But so yeah, you want to go ahead and start talking about Josh Gordon?
Oh, yes. So apparently the Patriots were right by getting rid of Josh Gordon because the Seahawks wide receiver Josh Gordon was suspended indefinitely again by the NFL for violating the league's policies on performance-enhancing substances and substance abuse. Josh Gordon's timeline per ESPN stats and information. In 2013, led the NFL in receiving yards, played 14 games. In 2014, missed 11 games due to 2 suspensions. 2015 and 2016 did not play due to violations of league substance abuse policy. In 2017, reinstated by the NFL on November 1st, played 5 games for the Browns. In July of 2018, announced he was missing first part of Browns training camp for mental health reasons, returned on August 18th. On September 2018, he was traded to the Pats. On December of 2018, this past winter, right before the playoffs, he got suspended indefinitely by the NFL for violating terms of reinstatement under NFL substance abuse policy.
Oh my God, I feel so much better.
I bet you feel later.
Yeah.
In March of this year, the Patriots placed second round tender on Gordon. Nobody picked it up. We weren't surprised. In August 16th, he was reinstated by the NFL again. On August 23rd, he was placed on IR due to knee injury. We have a feeling that because of the way he was placed on IR, we have a feeling that they thought something was up. At least a lot of people did, because a lot of people were like, oh, why are you getting rid of him? But the way he was placed on IR, I'd had a feeling he wasn't long for being here, and just the way he was, it seemed like he wasn't nearly the Josh Gordon that we used to have, but apparently because he wasn't on drugs maybe, and then they saw something they didn't like.
I think that the Patriots did an amazing job not overly televising or telecasting Josh Gordon's problems.
Right.
I didn't know he had a drug problem until this.
Really?
Yeah, no clue. But obviously, I just
Oh, yeah.
probably
He
didn't
had
care.
a massive drug problem even when he was at the Browns, and that's why it was surprising when the Pats picked him up last year.
See, I thought he had like a conduct issue where he was like getting arrested or something like that. Not like
Oh, no. He just
doing
likes
drugs.
to smoke the pot.
Apparently,
and drink a
that's-
lot.
Apparently, he's gotten more than that. Like he's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
other stuff now.
Well, this time now. So he was claimed off waivers by the Seahawks a day after being released by the Patriots on November 1st. This past Monday, he was suspended indefinitely for violating NFL's policy for PEDs and substance abuse. I have a feeling that knee injury is bugging him, and he knew the only way he was going to get to play at the same level he was before to make the big money was he thought he had to take these drugs that would make him feel better.
Now, here's a question: do you think he ever gets another chance, or do you think like
With the way they've been with him,
three chances you're done?
well, let's see. He's had 1, 2, or is that 3? Because he was suspended for those first 4 games also.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 4. And now this is 5. This is the 5th time he's been in trouble with the NFL for drug-related issues.
And kicked off 3 teams.
Yes. Well, traded from the Browns to the Pats. And then from the Pats, released him. The Seahawks picked him up.
Well, he was also released from the Patriots, and then the Patriots picked him back up.
Well, they let out an option there.
Right.
So like if somebody wanted to pick him up, they could, but they knew that everybody knew they weren't going to take him because nobody knew if he was going to get back. So you're trading a second-round draft pick for the possibility of him maybe coming back.
Is she licking your feet?
She is.
I
Jasmine's
just
favorite thing
feel
to do.
like I could feel her body moving up and down, and it kind of threw me off.
The only good season he ever had was back in 2013, and since then he's done basically junk.
I mean, he is a threat when he's out there. He just needs to
Not
clean up
like
his life.
Not like he used to be. But back when he was a threat, he was probably on a ton of drugs. Just about from the way that we've seen him play, like the Empire this year, you could tell he was clean because he was slow. He looked like he was lost. He just didn't play like we had seen him even last year. And last year, he got suspended for drugs again. So we have a feeling that, well, a lot of people have a feeling that he was on those drugs last year, got suspended for him, and then this year he was clean for the beginning of the season, and he just looked like slow and old. He did not look like even last year's Gordon did, which is pretty awful. Because he used to be a good player.
Well, let's see if he ever gets another chance.
Yep. I have a feeling that the NFL may just say, sorry, we gave you a shot. We tried. The Pats tried. Seattle tried. Of course, both these states have legalized marijuana, so he figures, well, it's legal here. I can just do it and it'll be fine. But
Well,
the NFL doesn't work by those rules.
MLB has legalized marijuana. They no longer test on it. And according to Jerry Jones, he sees that the NFL is not too far behind.
The NFL will but they don't technically have a new player contract thing coming out till what, 2020?
I believe it's being all this stuff is being discussed.
Right. So if it comes to fruition, fruition, we may see him come back because then they'll say, pot's no big deal, and he'll be happy because he can smoke his pot.
Oh, well, the Islanders beat the Bruins, so the Islanders are now in second, and the Bruins are in third.
Oh, goody. They've had a rough couple of games this past week.
Yeah, they need a break.
Do you want to talk about Terrell Suggs?
I could talk about Terrell Suggs. Terrell Suggs was claimed off of waivers after being released by the Arizona Cardinals by Kansas City Chiefs. Suggs had been reported as saying that he has no interest in playing for any other team other than the Baltimore Ravens. But per ESPN's Adam Schefter, the linebacker will report to Kansas City, and my understanding he has reported to Kansas City, and he will play for the Chiefs.
Really?
Yep.
Well, he probably want to play for the Baltimore Ravens because he's ring hunting.
Well, he used to play for the Ravens, and I think he wanted to go back. But yeah, he wants a championship. He wants to play for a Super Bowl contending team, and the Chiefs, in my opinion, is a Super Bowl contention team.
Yep.
Especially with Terrell Suggs on there. So,
what position does he play now?
linebacker.
Linebacker. Okay.
Adam Schefter, the linebacker, will report to Kansas City.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
That's okay. You just don't pay attention when I speak. I get it.
Nobody
I got
listens. Nobody cares when you talk.
I get it. You ready to talk Pat stuff?
There really isn't anything going on this week with the Pats, other than the film going on. There still hasn't been a decision on the filming that Kraft Productions did. Knowing the past on how Goodell handles these things, we probably won't know about the outcome until after the season ends, or it will be the middle of the postseason, and that's about all we'll ever hear from it. So it won't be a surprise when we finally do hear about it. And Jonathan, this week we had a couple of people on the injury report today, but Jonathan Jones, the cornerback, was the only one on the injury report today that he did not practice and was reported that he is out for this week's game with a groin injury. And that's about all the Pats news. There's really nothing going on in New England. If we're keeping the same kicker this week, which is amazing.
Do you ever think that would make news?
No. I was hoping for one more kicker before the end of the season. The kicker that they did pick up and put in the practice squad, they released the next day. So maybe he made too big of a splash, and they were like, no.
Nah, we're good.
Your head's going to be too big by the end of this. So let's just get it done and over with. All right, so Week 15 recap. I don't know if anybody is even going to be here that made those picks. Is Amanda here?
No, she is. I think she's driving to my house. I think.
Ah.
Yeah, she just got out of work. She's going to look for a crate, and then I think she's going to her house, and then my house or something.
Ah. Well, everywhere's closed at this time of night, except for maybe Walmart. So.
Petco or something.
Where the pets go?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about these. Are you going to play your crap?
Yeah, I'll play my crap.
I found all kinds of royalty-free music that we are fully capable of using and not getting in trouble by some lovely source.
Why the hell is that doing that? Must have had that up. I'll have to fix that later. All right. So, this past week, Nate lost.
I did fucking great. I was so good.
Yeah. So, this week we had Mo and Jeremy tie for first place with 12 wins. Then we had Amanda and me tie for second place with 11. And bringing up the rear with the only last person that made a pick was Nate. He had 9.
Hey, Gail had 1.
Gail had 1 because she made the Thursday night pick and then was so sick that she forgot to make her picks before Sunday morning.
Which is sad because she lives with you.
I know. But you know me, I don't remind anything about anybody about anything unless I remember myself.
Now I could talk full shit because she's not here.
She'll hear it later when she beat you.
I don't think she's going to listen at all.
So last Thursday, the Baltimore Ravens hosted the New York Jets, and as we expected, the Baltimore Ravens put on a clinic, basically. They won 42-21.
Do you think that the Ravens are going to sit out their starters in Week 17? Or do you think they might play them like a quarter?
The way that coach is, it wouldn't surprise me if he would if the coach would actually sit him.
But the thing about it,
just
if
to
they,
give them the extra rest.
yeah, but do you really want to give them like 2 weeks off? 'Cause
Some
if they-
coaches think that helps. I am not one of those kind of people that thinks sitting your
Oh no, I
players-
totally agree because they did that to Aaron Rodgers and them that one time they had a bye week.
Yeah, and then they got destroyed. If I
They
remember.
got fucking they got
Spanked.
schooled. Oh my god.
So there's equal merit on both sides of the thing. Hi Amanda, how you doing?
Oh, look at her.
You can listen. She's gonna have to make her piss, so she has to get home shortly.
She's got time. She can always give me her picks if she really wants to play in the reindeer games again.
Yeah, she seems to do better if she makes those picks.
Or
like
not.
later.
I mean, I almost didn't tell her to pick for Monday night.
Don't worry, I had messaged her just in case you didn't, because I saw where her scores were and I saw that she could beat you.
Oh, shut your whore mouth.
So Monday night, on Sunday 1:00, the Sunday game started. Green Bay Packers hosted the Bears. They won 21-13. Then we had the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Denver Broncos. They won 23-3. They schooled them. Then we got to the interesting games. 1:00, the Tennessee Titans hosted the Houston Texans. Game came down to the wire, 21-24. The Texans, and Mo and Amanda were the only ones that went with the Texans. So it was the females. Then we had the New York Giants hosting the Miami Dolphins. They won 36-20. You went with the Dolphins. You were wrong. Then
Who
we
would
had
have thought the Giants would win a fucking game?
I know. 2 weeks in a
Clearly,
row. Oh.
all of you did, except for me.
Well, we didn't trust in the Dolphins.
I had more faith in the Dolphins than I ever did have in the freaking Giants.
I know, but that's why Miami got moved back. Moved back down to the power rankings also this week. Then we had the Cincinnati Bengals at hosting New England Patriots. They got destroyed, 13-34. The Pats sort of looked like their old selves, but not completely. Then we had the Redskins hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Redskins lost 27-37. At the beginning of that game, it was questionable. That was back and forth for a while. Then the Carolina Panthers hosted the Seattle Seahawks. A lot closer than I expected. The Panthers lost 30-24. The Detroit Lions hosted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We kind of figured this was going to happen. They lost 38-17.
How do you feel about Matt Patricia getting on 1 year, make the playoffs, or you're done deal?
It doesn't surprise me.
Do you think that it's the right call, though? Like, because think about it. If you're trying to bring in a free agent or try to do some recruiting, and you know that there's a chance that you might not have that head coach the following year, do you sign?
Yeah, that's a rough deal when you try to get somebody, a good player like that wants to be with that coach for a while.
Well, like, think about it. Let's say A.J. Green hits the market, right?
Yep.
Do you think he would be willing to go up there?
No way.
Knowing that
hell.
he has, he's got Matt Stafford, who may or may not be healthy the whole year.
Yep.
But then there's no guarantee that that head coach, that general manager, and that entire coaching staff is going to be there the following season.
Yeah, it's a good idea. If I was him, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, you'd have to
There's-
pay me a buttload of money just to go up there.
Right, just to play for any coach.
Just that they have 1 year.
Right.
1 year to make it to the playoffs.
Right.
And they're in, like, the hardest division. Especially with the Vikings doing what they're doing. Green Bay usually makes it.
Yeah, you're talking about you would have to have 3 teams from the same division make it, and that's not heard of ever.
And then the Bears, I hate to say it, but they're, like, 2 players away from being an actual, like, contributing force in the North. So, like, that's a tough-ass division for any of them to really just make their way through. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they would have to have a phenomenal season, and you'd have to have somebody from the Vikings and Green Bay get hurt severely to the point, and it had to be like one of their biggest players. So hell, your Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to go down, and who in the Vikings would have to go down? Probably their receiver up there.
Thielen, he's been out here and there.
And who the hell is keeping them in the game? Is it?
The Vikings are a really balanced team.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because
there's no
their
real
quarterback isn't that great.
No, there's
Is
no
it
real
Matt or
no
Kirk
it's
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. So
he's doing Cousins stuff.
Right.
He's a serviceable quarterback, Their running game isn't horrible. Their wide receivers aren't bad. Their defense isn't horrible. It's a serviceable, well-rounded team.
Yeah, so it's not like if one goes down, they're all done. They
Right.
have enough balance that they can continue making a game out of this. Where was I? Lions. So next at the 4:05 game start, we had the Arizona Cardinals hosting the Cleveland Browns. The Cardinals won 38-24. Jeremy was the lone picker for that one, which was lucky for him because the Browns did not show up for that game. Then we got to the Chargers hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, Miami Vikings. For some reason, Mo picked the Chargers. I don't know why she did. They lost 39-10.
And stop calling me Shirley.
Then we had the Oakland Raiders hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Surprising all of us, the Jaguars won 20-16. Mo, again, was the lone picker for the Jaguars, and she won. So she got that balance back. Then the unforeseen loss. The San Francisco 49ers hosted the Atlanta Falcons, losing 29-22.
Nobody
thought this was going to be close.
Absolutely nobody. No professional. Like, if I was skilled enough to go and try to find, like, the Vegas odds of Atlanta beating the 49ers.
They had to be huge. There was
Whoever picked that bet made bank, because that had to have been like a 10,000 to 1.
And they must have been an over, too.
And they were in San Francisco. That's an Eastern team going to the West and playing in San Francisco against a hot defense.
Yeah, and their hot defense looked like a hot pile of shit.
Yeah, and they won.
Yeah. There's no reason that game should have been that close to begin with, and there's no reason why that game should have ever turned out that way.
And now that game makes this week's game that much more important.
Because if the 49ers lose to this week, they are officially in 5th place, and
Seattle takes it.
And Seattle takes first place the whole rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are in the one seed.
They're the number 1 seed right now.
Yeah. But then they
because the
clinched
49ers beat the New Orleans, and they became the number 1 seed.
But so if the 49ers lose, and the Seahawks win,
the Seahawks are now going to be first place
in the West.
No, period.
Well, yeah, but they take the NFC West.
Right, they take the NFC West, and they will take the NFC, period.
Right. So it's insane how close some of these, just like the Eagles-Cowboys game.
Oh, yeah.
Winner of that takes the NFC East.
That's this week.
Right.
That's going to be a good game.
It's oh my God, this is like the best time of the year to watch football.
How much do I want the Eagles to win and I don't want them to win at the same time? It's incredible. Because I hate both those teams, but I think I hate the Cowboys just a slight bit more.
I agree. I completely concur with what you're saying.
So next, speaking of them, we had the Dallas Cowboys put on a fucking clinic, beating their Los Angeles Rams 44-21. None of us, except for Amanda, saw this game happen.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Oh, it's over. The Rams are done. Stick a fork in them. Might as well send them home. Then we had at the night game, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Buffalo Bills. The Bills fought a hard, tough game that night. They won 17-10.
And we were talking about this.
We were
2 hours before the show.
We were.
And I was looking at everybody I picked, and I go, I don't know why I picked that team. I don't know why I didn't pick Buffalo. I really should have picked Houston. I don't know why I picked Tennessee. I should have picked.
Because we seen what Tennessee Texans looked like after they played the Pats and won, and they basically looked like junk.
So looking at what I'm looking at right now, the only 2 games that I would take back, honestly, would be Tennessee and Pittsburgh. All the rest of those, I feel like my teams that I picked could have won.
Right.
Including Miami over the Giants.
They could have.
If you have 2 heaping piles of shit, one of them's going to smell worse than the other. And clearly, yours smelled worse than mine.
Apparently. So, the Buffalo Bills won. Nate and Amanda were the only pickers of the Steelers. Bad idea for her. She shouldn't follow his lead. Then we had the New Orleans Saints on Monday night hosting the Indianapolis Colts. They beat the crap out of them, 34-7. The Colts didn't score till late in the fourth quarter, and we all picked that game right. And that rounds up our review of last week.
All right, well, why don't we go ahead and power through the Week 16 power rankings?
Sounds good.
In number 32, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. They were there last week. The Miami Dolphins managed to jump down from 29 to 31. The Washington Redskins remain at the same position at number 30, while the New York Jets managed to jump up from 31 to 29. The Detroit Lions used to be 25 last week, and this week they're 28. The New York Jets, with a 5-9 record, are still at 27, while the 26th ranked Jacksonville Jaguars went from 28 to 26. The Arizona Cardinals were at 26. Now they're at 25. The Denver Broncos, they managed to drop down one spot from 23 to 24, while the Carolina Panthers, they are sitting at 23, formerly at 22. The Atlanta Falcons managed to take a leaping jump over those other two teams from 24 to 22. The Los Angeles Chargers went down one spot from 20 to 21, while the Cleveland Browns managed to go from 19 to 20. The Oakland Raiders also made a drop this week from 18 to 19, and the Indianapolis Colts also dropped down, but in two spots from 16 to 18. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sitting at 7-7, managed to go up from 21 to 17, and the Philadelphia Eagles, 7-7 as well, jumped up one spot from 17 to 16. The Chicago Bears managed to go from 14 to 15, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they dropped down one spot from 13 to 14. Dallas Cowboys are sitting at number 13. Last week, they were at number 15. The Los Angeles Rams managed to make it a huge drop from number 9 to 12, while the Tennessee Titans managed to jump up one spot from number 12 to number 11. The Houston Texans are sitting at 9-5, and they were at number 11 last week. This week, they hit the top 10. The Buffalo Bills are sitting with a 10-4 record with a chance to make number 1 in the AFC East this week. They managed to go from number 10 to number 9, while the Minnesota Vikings still hold the number 8 spot. The Green Bay Packers are also sitting in the same spot as last week at number 7, while the New England Patriots dropped down one spot from number 5 to number 6. The Seattle Seahawks are 11-3, and they are managed to jump one spot from 6 to 5, and the Kansas City Chiefs still hold the number 4. In number 3, we have the San Francisco 49ers with 11-3. They were number 2, and now they're number 3. The New Orleans Saints, also 11-3, were number 3 last week. This week they're number 2, and the Baltimore Ravens continue to hold the number 1 spot with a 12-2, and they are going to be definitely, in my opinion, going to the Super Bowl. And that has been
definitely going?
your power rankings. Yeah, I still think they're making it. I'm still holding on to San Francisco and Baltimore. Maybe New Orleans, but they have to have like a lucky game. I see Green Bay making it if they get a playoff, the first round bye, which I don't think they will. They're going to lose in the second game. I don't see them making it much further and beyond that. We're going to go ahead and move to the playoff picture.
Yep.
So the Baltimore Ravens have clinched their division. They clinched the division. They are 12-2.
Yep.
The Patriots clinched a playoff. They are 11-3. Kansas City clinched their division at 10-4. Houston is 9-5. Buffalo has clinched the playoff berth at 10-4.
First time in a very long time.
It is. And Pittsburgh, they are in the number 6 spot at 8-6, and they win the tiebreaker over Tennessee based on best win percentage in conference games. And in your NFC, you have the Seahawks, 11-3, who clinched the playoffs.
The Seahawks?
Yep. The wins tiebreaker over Green Bay based on best win percentage on common games. Wins tiebreaker over New Orleans based on best win percentage in conference games. Green Bay clinched the playoffs. Wins tiebreaker over New Orleans based on best win percentage in conference games. New Orleans clinched their division. Dallas Cowboys wins tiebreaker over Philadelphia based on head-to-head win percentage.
May not be after this week.
Yep, San Francisco clinched the playoffs, and Minnesota is in number 6, so they are still in the hunt.
Amazingly enough, the only team that's doesn't have over 10 wins is the Dallas Cowboys. That whole NFC Southern Division sucks.
It's just like the NFC West years ago when Seattle made it with a 7-9.
Yes.
So I mean, it's possible to be a hot pile of shit and still make it.
Yeah, in the hunt we still have the Rams and the Eagles, but I don't see the Rams making it. They would have to win every single game, like from now on.
Yep.
Which after the showing last week, I don't think so. But the Eagles, if they win, they're in the 8th seed. If they win against the Cowboys this weekend, they will be launched into the top of their division.
And this week the Rams are playing the 49ers, so they really have to show up.
Yeah.
To be there, and I don't think the Rams are going to be capable of winning.
See, in the AFC, at least the playoff contenders are a little bit closer, where the Pittsburgh Steelers, being 8-6, if they lose, the Titans do have a possibility to jump up real quick into that.
It's so crazy. The
6 seed.
Browns are 6-8, and the Raiders are 6-8, and they still have a chance.
Yes. Well, everybody said the Browns were going to make the playoffs this year, but they just didn't show up soon enough.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I don't know if we're going to have anybody do our live picks with us. I think we're going to have to do these on our own this week.
Oh, my God. We're taking it back to the early weeks.
Yeah, we're going to have to do these by ourselves. It's kind of sad. I miss doing it with everybody.
Yeah, but maybe we have a better chance if we're just picking on our own.
Right, but then we can't we definitely can't let them watch our show and have them pick our picks. Pick their picks from our information.
It's true.
Like they're actually going to sit through this whole entire episode.
No, all they got to do is just click through.
This is a much shorter episode than we normally do.
It is.
We're only like an hour and some change in. We're usually by now we're almost 2 hours in.
We've been efficient.
Is that what we're calling it today?
I mean, why not?
I think there wasn't much news. I think we're going to start getting other sports.
I actually thought that this was going to be like I put a lot. There was a lot of shit on our agenda.
Yeah. Well, not really. Some weeks we've had a lot more football news, so it's been had a lot more to deal with.
Yeah, I thought I put a lot on there. Like I was worried I overproduced. Like the bowl games.
Yes.
That was a lot.
There was a lot of bowl games.
Yeah.
Should have saved some of those.
Yeah, whatever. They'll be there next week too. Are you? All right, let's go ahead and make our picks.
All right. So, need to switch that. So, Saturday, since we did not have a Thursday game this week, Saturday, December 21st at 1 p.m., Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the Houston Texans. Nate, let's start you off.
I am going to go with the Houston Texans there, Travis.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know. I just show up. I show up, try to look cute.
I hit the wrong button.
Try to bring some witty banter.
I am also going with the Texans against the Tampa Bay Bucks. I just don't see them losing to them. So, now...
I already know who you're picking next.
It's tougher than you would think.
Is it?
Because the Pats are at home, but the Buffalo Bills are doing everything they can to try to make sure they move up in the playoffs now.
And we recently learned that the Patriots can lose at home.
Yes. They haven't lost in a divisional game at home in God knows how long. But it's still possible now, and it's scary to think about that. But I'm going to go with the Pats.
I am going to go with the Bills.
I am not surprised. I had a feeling you were.
This is actually hard. I've been thinking about this game for like a week.
A week?
Yeah. Since I knew this game was coming,
Yo.
I've been thinking about it, and I've listened to a lot of radio about this game, and it is split.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bills have, really both teams have a lot to fight for in this game.
It's really going to come down to how many times the Bill turns over the ball.
Right, but you got to think about it. The Bills have a chance to take the AFC East this week. They have a chance.
They have a chance to get a better record in the AFC East, but they wouldn't have the overall games.
But
So-
they have that chance.
Right.
This is the first time they've had that chance.
Well, actually, no. They'd be 11-4, and we'd be 11-4,
Right.
and then we'd be 4-1, and they would be 4-1. So it'd be split. It would come down to all the other games.
It would come down to the following week. Because I think you guys play
No,
a
my
mutual.
then in week
Well, you
17
have
we
it.
play Miami, and Miami would have to beat us at home.
And who does Baltimore play? Or not Baltimore, fucking Buffalo. Buffalo plays the Jets.
Yeah.
So,
So really, Miami would have to beat us at home in New England in the freezing cold.
and Buffalo has to beat the Jets. And then
Well,
then it goes to point spreads and interdivision and all that. So there's a chance,
There's a chance. Slim.
but there's a chance.
There's a chance.
So both teams are playing
Yeah.
to take that spot. So
Right.
there's going to be a lot. Like, I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. I really do, because these two teams,
Well, that's why they're having it at 4:30 on Saturday, so everybody can watch it.
right, both of these teams are in the playoffs, and they're going to try to clinch a division.
Yep.
Like, this is insane. There's a race. There's a challenge in AFC East.
And there hasn't been one in a very long time.
No. Like, this is legit insane to me.
So it's just gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to watch it almost.
I'm going to hear you screaming from my
Oh,
house.
probably. You're gonna hear a lot of four-letter words.
I'm going to hear a lot of, Connor, shut up. No talking. Eat your chips and shut up. All right, what did I say?
Yep.
If you can't shut up and watch the game, go to bed.
The problem is that's not the one I'm gonna have the most issue with. He understands this.
He still challenges.
Oh yeah, 'cause he's like me.
All right, so now we're
So,
looking at
the
San
night game.
Francisco hosting the Los Angeles Rams.
The night game, the 8:15 Saturday night. Shouldn't be a hard pick, should it?
Well, I mean, last week it shouldn't have been a hard pick either, but
I
the
know.
Falcons still beat them.
But it's the Rams we're talking about now.
It is the Rams, and they could be that upset team.
The upset of the week
You know, like
since the
at
Falcons
the end
were
of the season, you have these crap teams that go in and just start whipping all these
these good
great teams,
teams.
and they just fucking hurt them.
Yeah,
That's what this is. But I'm still going to go with San Francisco because there's no reason not to go with them.
right.
Granted, they lost last week, but I feel like
That was a fluke.
yeah. I mean, was it even a broken clock is right twice a year or twice a day?
Twice
or-
a day, yeah. Who do we have messages from?
Amanda.
She made her picks already?
No, but she took a picture of us.
Oh, hi, Amanda.
She said she's at my house.
Ah. She in her birthday suit? So, next we have the Cleveland Browns losing to the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey,
No talking, Jazz.
come here.
This game will officially put the Cleveland Browns out of contention for playoffs. Are you concurring with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I wish I could go like. Look, folks. I'm here to try to actually win this week. As much as I want to pick the upsets, I feel like the Buffalo game could really go either way. I'm just gonna probably stick with the herd for mostly every other game. Though the Indianapolis Colts hosting the Carolina Panthers, I feel is going to go to the Colts. The Carolina Panthers are starting their rookie quarterback this week.
Oh, really?
So they're not going with the ones that they already had. They already fired their head coach in Riverboat Ron.
Yep.
They've lost 2 consecutive games. They're really not playing for anything. So I'm going to give it to the Colts at home. Why
so
not
they're,
go with
they're
the home team?
practicing for next week? Practicing for next year?
Yeah, they're pretty much just trying to see who's going to still be on the team next season.
I'm going with the Colts, too. So next we got the crap versus the worst crap. I'm going to give this one to the Dolphins.
Ooh.
They're at home, Cincinnati Bengals.
You know what?
The Bengals have been trying. They've lost a lot of close games, but
I think I'm gonna go
I-
with the ginger over the Fitzmagic. and go-
Really?
yeah. It's a tough. It's a dumpster fire.
It is a dumpster fire. Speaking of dumpster fires, we have the Denver Broncos hosting the Detroit Lions. Still at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh, this is me.
Yeah, this is you.
I'm gonna go Denver.
Gonna go with Denver.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's still out. I don't think. I mean, I don't see
Yeah.
Detroit doing much.
Mile High.
That too.
Good luck. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons, who crazy upset in San Francisco last week, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags being 4-9, the Atlanta Falcons being 4-9 at home. They're gonna be playing off a high, but they may have just played the Super Bowl. So
That was their Super Bowl this year.
yeah. So, you know what? No, I am going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They play the Super Bowl. They're done.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Minshew.
Yeah. Next, we have the Tennessee Titans losing to the New Orleans Saints, right?
Are they gonna lose though?
The Titans are playing to make the playoffs.
They are.
The Saints are
The Saints have already made the playoffs.
The Saints have already made the playoffs, but they are slowly dropping in their. They were in first, then they were second, now they're in third. They're not going to drop to fourth, so we don't have to worry about that.
Look,
But
I guess my thought is, if I was the Saints, right? Though
Yeah.
I know Drew Brees isn't going to do this, but if I was Sean Payton, I would play my starters for 1 quarter, and then sit them out the rest of the game and let everybody else play.
yeah,
Get them some reps. Let the backups play just in case.
just to keep them warm, but not to
Right.
get hurt.
But if you play your backups just in case a starter gets out, they are seasoned, they're conditioned, they're ready to play in the playoffs.
Right.
I would,
Get them live snaps.
yeah, I would snap count the rest of my players on the team. So I am going to go with the home team Tennessee Titans this week, which is a long shot. I feel like the Saints should win this one. This is probably the big upset of the week, like the biggest upset. But I feel like,
I don't think that Drew Brees would let them sit him. So, because everybody expected him to stay out a week longer than he did when he came back, when their backup QB was doing so well, and he wanted to come back as soon as possible. So, I am going to go with the Saints this week.
smart choice. I should go with the Saints as well. I really want to go with the Saints.
But you have a feeling that the Titans are going to
Yeah, I don't know why.
pull out because they're fighting for that playoff spot.
They are. They have a lot to gain from.
All they just have to have. They just got to win and have the Pittsburgh Steelers lose again.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, but it's possible because of who they're playing this week. Next, we got the Washington Redskins hosting the New York Giants. Dumpster fire after dumpster fire after dumpster fire.
Eli Manning is not starting this week.
Eli Manning is not starting this
He
week.
is not starting this week.
Oh, then we should go to the Redskins, right?
Well, Dwayne Haskins actually had a really great game last week.
Yes, he did.
So he's starting to show potential in being a starting quarterback in the NFL. You have is he a rookie in New York?
Yes, he's a rookie in New York.
So
who was
rookie-
losing.
Rookie coming back off an high ankle sprain from 2 weeks.
Yeah, and he wasn't that good beforehand. I'm kind of surprised they're not sticking with Manning. Considering he won. Did he? No, he lost.
He won last week.
Yeah, he won
lost
last week.
the first week.
Yeah, so
Well, they also have Saquon Barkley back.
he's still 50-50. Hold on, who has Saquon?
the
Saquon.
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Ugh. You know what? I'm gonna pick this upset. The Redskins are gonna beat the Giants.
I am going to agree with you. I think I talked myself into it. Maybe. I don't know.
Too late. The final decision has been made. Next, we have the Los Angeles Chargers hosting the Oakland Raiders, both in the same house.
I don't trust Phillip Rivers. I am going to go with the Oakland Raiders beating the LA Chargers.
I agree.
Fair enough.
I don't trust those LA teams anymore as far as I can throw them. Next, we have the New York Jets hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, are you going to go with the mono or the duck?
The mono or the duck? I don't know. This is a tough one.
Is it? I know who I'm going with. This is an easy pick for me.
This is less easy because the Pittsburgh Steelers are fighting for to stay in that playoff spot. The Jets would love to knock them out of the playoffs.
Yep.
The Jets have been showing great potential.
Yeah, but they're not there yet.
They just haven't closed out a game.
Now, I will say next season the AFC East
gonna
actually
be
might be
competitive.
a little bit. You got the old folks home in New England. You got the frat bros in Buffalo. You got the
High schoolers.
Ivy Leaguers in New York. And then you get the freaking hobos in Miami.
All them drug dealers down there. You know what?
You know you're going to pick Pittsburgh. I already know you're going to pick Pittsburgh. I don't even know why you're even playing around with this.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
I'm going with Pittsburgh as well. And I'm going to go with Seattle for this next game. They are hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a given.
This is a really quick week.
This is.
We're just cruising.
Then we have the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys.
How do you keep getting the more difficult ones to pick?
I don't know.
You would get the difficult ones to pick first.
I do.
I
Because
just-
I want to see the Eagles win just to knock the Cowboys out of there. But I don't know.
Well, the Eagles are
the-
banged up. They have one actual starter from the start of the season and running back, wide receiver. They finished last week with 3 tight ends
This is
and
true.
1 wide receiver.
So they're getting it done even with backup, with different players in different spots.
Right.
That doesn't add up. It's not right. Eagles are 7-7, right?
They are tied.
Yeah. Why does it have mine at... That doesn't make sense. I'll have to look into that. You know what? I'm gonna go with the home team. Philadelphia's a tough place to play.
Yeah. Well, especially tough for fans of outside teams.
Right.
I agree. I'd go with the Eagles as well. It's hard, though, because you got Ezekiel Elliott with the Cowboys.
Right.
Dak Prescott is still playing. They, on paper, should be
Should win.
clearly ahead of everybody in this division,
Right.
but they're not.
They're not. They can't put it together. They want to run the ball in places they can't run the ball. They would try and throw the ball where in places that they definitely can't throw the ball.
Well, they're not running it enough.
Though the problem is sometimes they just stick with the run when they need the pass.
They need to run more,
That's what they think until they
but they don't.
and then they get stuffed
They
time
get-
after time after time because they keep running the ball.
Is this parkour championships that are on TV right now? How is this not making our show?
I don't know. This is your
Oh,
part.
this is tag.
This is parkour tag. Yep.
World Championship Tag, WCT. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. All right, anyway. So now we have the Bears hosting the Chiefs
Yeah.
at 8:20 on Sunday night.
Yeah, the Sunday night game.
Now, here's my question. Do I pick who I think is going to win, or do I pick who I feel has the better advantage of winning? Which may sound like the same thing, but it's not when the Bears are at home.
Yeah, the Bears at home are always a tough place to play them.
It is. Soldier Field is a place.
Yes,
it's
it is.
Miserable conditions. The Bears do very well there. I'm actually surprised Green Bay beat them there.
When was the last time Green Bay had actually beat them at their home?
It happens. It usually alternates every other year.
Every other year?
Yeah. But since Kansas City played in the snow last week, they did great in the snow last week.
Yeah.
They showed that they are a capable team of playing in shitty conditions, and there's no place in my mind shittier than Chicago. I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs.
That is a valid point. I think you just made my decision for me. And next, we have probably the worst game that I have to pick, the second worst game I have to pick this week. Monday night's 8:15 game. The Minnesota Vikings are hosting the Green Bay Packers. Oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh.
Oh, wise guy, eh?
So, if the Vikings win...
I have picks, by the way.
Oh, we do?
I got picks.
From who?
Amanda.
So we'll have to put
She
hers
said
in afterwards.
she says she reserves the right to change them tomorrow when I'm not exhausted. I said, not if I put them in now.
Yeah, if she tell her if I put them in, they're locked in until further notice.
She said, don't you dare. And I said, you picked.
Minnesota Vikings are 10-4. If they win, they actually would move Green Bay out of the second seed, wouldn't they?
Oh, we're picking Minnesota?
Yeah, the Minnesota.
Well, no. Green Bay has a head-to-head over Minnesota right now.
So because they beat tied, Green Bay.
Green Bay is undefeated in the division.
Okay.
So they have all those games. So even if Minnesota wins, Green Bay still holds the #1 spot
Okay.
in that conference.
So they would have to win this week.
And next week, and Green
and
Bay has to
week-
lose next week.
Next week they have to lose.
But I don't. Is next week a division game for Green Bay? I don't think it is.
Green Bay.
They're away. Green Bay and Detroit, so it is.
It is. And they're not going to lose to Detroit.
They don't play well in Detroit.
This is true.
They don't play well in Minnesota.
They don't
play well in Detroit.
They almost lost, so the last time they were up in Detroit, so you know what? I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. What the hell is it doing? I'm going to go with the Vikings. That is that. Are you going to go with your pack? Or do you not trust them to win up in Minnesota?
Honestly, it is a very tough decision just because I know my teams, but I'm just going to stay faithful to the Packers that they're going to sweep the division.
You going to stay with it?
Yep.
All right.
All right, well.
Let's save those.
She's trying to see if she can get both dogs to sleep in the bed tonight.
Oh, jeez.
Harlow doesn't sleep in beds. She's a crate dog. All right. So I'm going to make the picks for her.
All right. I'm going to have to look into my spreadsheet, see what's going on over there.
All right.
All right, Amanda.
Texans.
Texans.
Pats.
Pats.
She put 48ers, but I'm guessing that's 49ers.
Sometimes.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Colts.
Ooh, hold on. Colts.
Dolphins.
Oop. I forgot I hit Eagles. Dolphins.
Broncos.
Broncos.
Falcons.
Falcons.
Saints.
Saints.
Giants.
Giants.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Seahawks.
She forgot the Jets Steelers game.
Okay.
She did this last week too.
Uh-oh. Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Oh, boo.
See what with me?
She went the Vikings.
Vikings. Come on, Amanda. Make that last pick.
I think she said she's going to bed. Because you and me are the only ones watching, so.
Oh, she did go to bed.
Yep.
Message her and be like, hey, Jets or Steelers?
Jets or Steelers? If she's smart, she can pick the Steelers. I like this little website I found with the royalty frees here.
Those are cool.
Yeah. I wish that some of them would be like longer, but
We need seasonal ones. The ones on Facebook are free too.
are they?
Yeah,
All right, so we made our picks.
we made our picks.
There's no listener contributions. I think that's what's next, right?
That would be or normally is, but everybody's asleep.
Not here.
Not here.
Birthday blowjobs.
Probably.
So, wow. What do we do now?
I guess we wrap this shit up.
Really?
I guess so.
I guess I picked the best song for the close out our thing, huh?
Pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be nice knowing that I'm not home at midnight.
Yeah, it'd be different. And we
So-
gotta we can get this up actually probably tonight, which would be an amazing thing to happen.
I love it when I get it up tonight. It makes me so happy. Well, Travis, it's been fun.
It's been fun, Nate.
I enjoyed this. I wore my festive garb for a while, but I got way too hot.
yeah,
And
you
now
did.
I'm like not really that warm. But anyway, yeah. So Thick and Thin Sportscast.
Yep.
We gotta start thinking of outside of football soon.
Yes, I think we're gonna have to start bringing in other people's news.
Matt, you're gonna need to start talking UFC because I got nothing.
We're gonna-
I try, and I'm like I don't know enough. I don't care enough.
Then we're gonna get to get some hockey in here because we were watching earlier.
This World Championship tag right here is legit though. Maybe we might need to bring that shit in. I enjoyed Muppets little thing there.
Yeah.
That was really good. It was interesting. I was surprised. I was impressed. Good on her. Travis, great show.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been real. I don't know where my little thing is. I don't think this is it.
Bye, all.
Private parts at your aunties, you cheesy lot of second-hand electric donkey bottom biters.